Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Long Game with Katrina Turnbull, where I get real about success, reinvention, and the power of playing it smart. Now, if the name Katrina Turnbull sounds familiar to you, it's because it is. I'm a television host, a viral content creator, a style-savvy entrepreneur who spent the last decade building my media empire as a single mom to two brilliant little boys. You have watched me on television, you've seen me on your streaming service, you've seen me on the news, you've seen me in magazines, I've hosted the events you've attended, maybe you recognize me from scrolling through your TikTok or Instagram, perhaps my viral "I'm looking for a man, looking for a wife" video has come across your For You page. Maybe you are one of the 35 million viewers who have seen my content. Regardless of how or why you found me, I am so excited to speak to all of you. The Long Game is about real talk, real guests, and a real strategy to winning life. I've spent the last 10 years rebuilding my life, raising my children, leveling up my career and my personal brand. But I have a major life update. I recently got engaged. So even though I'm a public persona, I've been very secretive about my engagement. And today I'm going to tell you why. So settle in and buckle up for the exclusive tea on my fiancé, wedding plans, and I'll be answering your questions that you sent me from Instagram and TikTok because you are part of the show. Today's episode is a little life catch up, how the engagement happened, what's changed since I've moved in with my fiancé, where we're at with the wedding, and then we're doing a rapid fire Instagram Q&A. You sent me amazing questions. And filling with me today is my director and friend of 10 years, Caroline Hayes.
Hello.
Yay! She is my creative other half, the woman who makes all the magic happen behind the camera. So you know it's going to feel like just two girlfriends chatting, except the whole internet's going to listen. We're giving Call Her Daddy, Giggly Squad vibes. Shout out to Queen Paige DeSorbo and media mogul Alex Cooper, but also taking away some practical tips. So let's start with the life updates. So Caroline, where should we start?
I think we need to start with your engagement story. Tell us what happened and when did you realize that was it?
So I had a surprise engagement. I was just really minding my own business and my life and hydrating for kind of the last year of my 30s. I turned 40 in December and I was planning a really big girls trip to Mexico with some of my friends just to celebrate in a really nice place that I wanted to go. And I was very, very single. And then it was the night before I was leaving for my trip. My mom had come over because she had got me these limited edition Sailor Moon Jimmy Choo sneakers that were divine. So that was my birthday gift from her. She came over to give it to me. We're unboxing it. We're recording everything. Fast forward, the shoes are half a size too small. I put them on my feet, but there's under no circumstances could I wear them, which is tragic, but I'll show you those later. Anyway, while we're doing the unboxing, I get another delivery come. And it's a floral delivery. My flowers are up there. It's a floral delivery. And it was these black roses. And my mom was like, I think I know who that's from. It was a past flame of mine that I'd known for many years. And I was like, I don't know. There was a beautiful note with it, wishing me a great 40th birthday. Happy birthday, Katrina. No signature. So I was like, oh, I work with a lot of companies. Maybe it's the company, the floral company is just wishing me a happy birthday because in it, like a month in advance of my 40th birthday, maybe even 6 months before, I was letting the entire internet know I was turning 40. So a lot of brands that I've worked with for a long time were sending me gifts. So I was like, oh, maybe they just want to celebrate my birthday, this flower company. So I messaged them on Instagram and I'm like, hey, there was no recipient name. Is this from you personally, like your company? And they're like, no, it's from so-and-so. Long story short, I got in touch with my old flame. I called him. I thanked him for the flowers. He asked if I had plans for my birthday. I said, yes, I was going to Mexico. He's like, good. I want to make sure you celebrate. And then he was like, how about you come to New York City with me when you get back and let's go to New York City. And mind you, my birthday's in December. I love New York City. I've never been at Christmas time. So I was kind of excited about that. But I'm just like, listen, we've dated before. It's been great. We have such great chemistry, but it's been several years of dating and stopping dating. I'm looking for something really specific in my life. I'm looking to move forward. I'm looking to move towards partnership. So he was like, if you come to New York City, we're only going to focus on getting engaged, finding an engagement ring, and having the best celebration weekend of our lives. So I was like, prove it. So anyway, fast forward, we land in New York City. Let me take out my phone because I have all these pictures. So there we go. My first picture is 7th Avenue and Fashion Avenue. So we go to NYC. I just love the energy of New York City. I think it's so, so fun. I don't know if I could survive in New York City all the time, but I really did like visiting it. So yeah, we just did a whole bunch of fun things. We went and got tons of food, went to Radio City Music Hall. We saw, the Rockefeller tree was really fun. I had 6 sick outfits. Oh yeah, we went to all the big stores. So we're looking for engagement rings. We go to Saks Fifth Avenue. We had a line up to get in. I was very clear that I wanted a black diamond engagement ring, which is very hard to find. So we go into Saks Avenue. They didn't have anything. They were super helpful. They didn't have anything. We went across the street to Tiffany's as well. They kind of just had like the regular engagement rings. They sent us up to the 7th or 9th floor of Tiffany's and where they have their gems, and they let me try some on, but they were like $500,000 for these like rolls or like ruby engagement rings. And I was like, we're not in the right place. So I Googled a ring designer who I know specializes in black diamonds, who has a store in Soho. And then we ended up booking an appointment to go down there. So we just had a really good time. We went into that store. It was really fun. We went into the store. Soho was like the ultimate vibe. The store lady was really great. The assistant was super, super helpful. And they actually had 3 or 4 different black rings that I could try on my finger, which was like super important. I'm in the store. I'm having the time of my life. They had these little like tiara, black diamond. Like I had a black diamond that I ended up picking out. Then they have tiaras that are your wedding bands. You can put that on and on top and on the bottom of it. So I found one that I loved. I was having so much fun. They were like, serving a champagne. And then I was like, okay, that's it. We're going to get it. And then she's like, do you want to hear the price? And I was like, not at all. Me and my fiance, I've known him for 6 years. At this point, Katrina's getting her black diamond engagement ring. I was on cloud 9. I was so happy. She was like, great. So this was the afternoon, and I asked her, okay, where's the bougiest place to get engaged in New York City? And then she's like, you need to go to the Carlisle Hotel. So we ended up going there. It's a very iconic, exclusive hotel. A lot of, who's who of New York hang out there, celebrities, industry titans, everyone. We got sat in the premier dining area, which was really nice. We had espresso martinis, we had champagne, we ordered cheeseburgers, fries, steaks, like everything that we wanted. And then my fiance proposed to me. And he got down on one knee at the restaurant in front of everyone, which I thought was really, really nice. The staff was amazing. They were so excited. They brought us treats to celebrate and congratulations. And we just took these awesome pictures. And then afterwards, we went to like Times Square and Grand Central Station, and we just kind of skipped around the city. And there's something about New York City that just makes everything feel possible and magical. And I just really, really, really had a great time. So that was the engagement story. Now, I got engaged in December. I let some close friends and family know around the holidays and stuff, but I didn't announce it like publicly until I think about like April of the following year. So April.
Why did you want to keep it to yourself for that long?
I think because being a public persona and putting so much of my life online for a decade now, it just felt really good to have something for myself that I didn't have to share with anyone. I didn't have to see other people's opinion, whether positive or negative. And it just allowed me the time to like savor the moment and like absorb the changes. Like I think a lot of people are so quick to be like, get to the next step and tell everyone about it. And then what's the next thing that you're doing? And I've done that. I've hustled for 10 years. Obviously, anyone who's known my story would understand that like marriage is something like that is a big deal for me, and especially getting married again. It's something that I want to happen once only again, and then, be with my person for the rest of my life. So maybe a little bit of fear in that as well. What if you put it out and then things don't work out and, kind of thing. But I took enough time to sit with it and savor it and enjoy it. And then I ended up announcing it because I was doing a live gig in Toronto at the Evolve Fashion Show. And I was hosting it. And every year I have these jokes about how I'm single, how there's like teenage models who walk in the show. I'm like, if any of the models' dads are single, come hit me up after the show. I talk about my dating stories. I talk about all like the dating shows that I was almost cast on and all this stuff. So I said to them, would it be funny to you guys if I announced my engagement? And the women at the show were just so enthusiastic. They're like, that'd be such a great moment. And I was like legit nervous. I can host shows in front of hundreds or thousands of people if I have a microphone. And I was hosting the show and it was going great. I was interviewing really cool, influential women who were part of it. And then I was getting to the point where I had to talk about that I'm engaged, and I was losing my voice. I was like choking. There's a video of me, and it's like, that like week when you're nervous when you're speaking? That's what happened to me. But I told everyone like that I was engaged and I was really excited and this was the right moment to share. And the whole crowd cheered and like got up and was like standing ovation. And like, it was just the most beautiful moment to like kind of like let it out publicly. And it was the way that was like right to me. Like I was letting it out to like my core fan base who supports me and have been through my journey and have been, in my shoes before. Yeah.
It sounds like that all went perfectly.
It's weird. It's like I have been trying to put out blessings for like a decade, Caroline. You understand this? And I felt like at the end of my 30s, just as I turned 40s, all the blessings started to come in. I felt all of that hard work and all those seeds I'm trying to sow for happiness and prosperity in my life, they just finally kind of started to blossom.
Well, you did. I remember seeing your pictures from New York.
Yes.
When you were there, I had no idea that's what was happening.
You just thought, there's Katrina. She was in Mexico 3 days ago, and now she's gallivanting around New York City.
I love it. That's a great story.
It's on brand. It's on brand.
I'm sure everyone was super excited to hear that story. I was surprised by some of that.
Yeah.
Has your life changed much since you've gotten engaged?
I wouldn't say it's changed much. I think I feel just maybe a little less in survival mode now. I feel like I have a partner. He is wonderful. He takes care of me. He does everything. He doesn't complain at all. He's a really, really quiet guy. He's not a spotlight kind of guy, but he's really wants to make sure that this transition period is as seamless as possible. So we're both, putting in the effort. And even though we were together on and off for, I've known him for 6 years and it's not the whole time we were together, but I've never lived with anyone over the last 8 years, like with my kids. So living with someone again is challenging. I find just sleeping in the same bed with someone after you're so used to being on your own for so long and then you have to, just kind of coexist with people. I feel like there's some growing pains, but we're both committed to making this beautiful family house work for everybody.
It's a big change, but it sounds good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So obviously after engagement, you must be planning your wedding. What are the details?
Oh my God, the deets. So that's a question that's catching me off guard a little bit these days. I tell people I'm engaged and their first question is, when's the wedding? Which I find a little, whoa, like, listen, we just got engaged. I feel because I waited so long, I waited a long time, before getting married again or even thinking about getting married again, that I want to maximize this fiancé time. But we do have to you can't just be engaged forever. I mean, it's the natural, logical step. Okay, so for me, if it were up to me, my ideal wedding would just be an elopement. I had a big wedding the first time. It was really expensive. I did not enjoy myself, the process, the planning. I thought it was just at the end of it a little bit pointless. So my original idea was I'm going to go to Bali. I'm going to be on an elephant. It's going to be just me and my fiance. We'll get married on the beach. I'll have fireworks behind me. And I thought, perfect. I talked to my boys who are everything to me and just the light of my life. And they were like, you can't just go elope. We have to be there. This is a family event. We are all celebrating together. We are in the wedding. So they're the ones who kind of have dictated that a family wedding is going to be had. So now we're just in the process of kind of figuring out what that looks like.
So you said you didn't really enjoy planning in the past. Is there anything about this time that's exciting for you?
What's exciting for me? The thought of it, the thought of celebrating with my close family and friends. That's what's exciting to me. It's having the people who I know really, really love me be around me. I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm having much smaller wedding. It's not like in the past where, you invite 150 people and, get all these wedding gifts. I don't want wedding gifts. I'm too old for wedding gifts. I don't need anything. Your presence is presence enough. You know what I mean? That's the kind of vibe for it. I have decision fatigue. I want to make as few decisions as possible. And my wedding it's going to be beautiful. You know what I mean? I've already done this. My first wedding was in a magazine. It's going to be beautiful. You know what I mean? This flower, this dress, that dress, updo, downdo. It's going to be great. I want to not stress about it because I have a whole life to run in between,
How do you balance that? How do you balance all of this with your career, your kids, and everything else you've already got going on?
I don't know. Every day is just a new journey, right? I try to do my best at work, as a mom, as a professional, as a friend, and we hope for the best at the end of the day. But I'm glad we're talking about wedding because we have audience questions I'm really excited about. This is for my Instagram. So if you guys want to ask me questions, you want to chat with me, send me a DM on Instagram at Katrina.Turnbull or TikTok or comment on one of my videos. I put this question out to say to my audience, what would you like to hear about me? And so here are some of the top questions from my audience. So Carly88 says, more about the wedding, plans, date, then bridesmaids. Okay, so we've generally talked about it. Since I can't elope secretly in Bali, I am looking at some really easy, destination kind of wedding situation. As for the date, I don't know yet. I have a bunch of projects on my calendar. So talking about how do we balance this in, it's hard to schedule in, when it's going to work out, with kids' schedules, my work schedules, my fiance's work schedule. Venue, something tropical. Mexico, Caribbean, something like that. Bridesmaids. So Caroline, you asked me about bridesmaids too.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. I was kind of surprised by your answer, actually.
Here's the thing. Maybe it's because I've already had one wedding. I feel like there's certain things I'm not allowed to do. I've already had bridesmaids. I've had the matching colored dresses. When you're 40, getting married for the second time, do you have a bunch of bridesmaids again?
I think.
Yeah?
I vote yes.
I haven't thought about it, but I think, I don't know, if it's fun, maybe, why not? Maybe I need to change my mind about that. That's something I would love to hear more from my audience. Anyone who's remarried again, were there things that you did or didn't do? What are your tips for it? What are questions that you might have that are similar to mine? Next, we have Charlotte Elizabeth 08. Spill all the tea about your future hubby and wedding plans. So my future hubby is very, very private. He does not like the spotlight at all. He doesn't like to talk very much. He's a quiet guy. I talk nonstop. I'm really loud and I talk all the time. I've asked him if that's an issue for him. He loves it because he doesn't have to talk. So he feels like I fill that silence for him. And it's like the pressure's off. He couldn't be more opposite. He really, really couldn't be more opposite. But he's super supportive. He takes a lot of videos that I make for Instagram, for TikTok, takes pictures for me, helps to support me in every other way, and jokes about being my personal securities. And then the wedding plans out. We've been talking about that. So he says he likes the idea of having friends come together. He likes the kind of destination situation as well. So it's kind of like, we just want to go off and have a really nice vacation with the people that we love the most. And so he's like, let's pick a nice place where his friends can come and family and mine too, and we'll all be happy. So okay, our next question is from D. Baker. Are you still a TV host? Yes. So, still a TV host. I still do live TV on different news programs. I have had a number of shows working in development, working with pitching for the US market in LA quite a bit for different projects. The TV industry has changed over the last couple of years. And part of the reason why we're having our podcast today is that Carolyn and I, the last time we were together on a show, was when we were in Miami, which was 2022.
Years ago.
Well, it's like 3 years ago now, right? When we were actually filming for a TV show. There's not a whole lot of difference between that and what we're doing now, except that we have ownership about this and we don't have to, pitch ideas to someone for them to pick them up and give us a budget to do a show. We can just do whatever we want. So still doing TV shows, still a couple shows on my radar, still writing shows to get greenlit, and making a podcast in between. So D. Baker also says your dream honeymoon. So again, it would be like Bali, maybe like a White Lotus Thailand situation. That looked really cool. One of those places like Fiji that just has turquoise blue water and those huts on the edge of the property over the water. That seems pretty cool. Yeah. And just white soft sand. That would be amazing. Anyway. M. Kovacs says, girl, deets on new man and wedding plans. So again, my new man is wonderful, super private guy, very supportive. And yeah, we want to have a vacation wedding. Colin Mills, he's a professor that I work with at Algonquin College. He says, how many shoes do you have? Colin, I took the time yesterday to count all of my pairs of shoes in my home. Caroline, do you have a guess before I answer?
43.
That's close. That's very close. 54.
Okay.
Sensible. I don't think that's crazy. Do you think it's a lot?
It could be worse.
I feel like I thought I would have more than that, to be honest. It includes sandals, sneakers, you know what I mean? My boots and my high heels and stuff, but sensible. Danny Captain Crash says, your favorite food and why? I think my favorite food is my mom's roasted potatoes with gravy. I could just eat that all the time because it just provides me lovely comfort in my life. And I love potatoes. It's like the most delicious food ever.
I thought you were going to say cheese and crackers.
Well, that's my insomniac nighttime binge snack. When my night demon tells me it's time to eat, that's when I go looking for cheese and crackers. So Katie Lemon said, did you move? Spill the tea on your new home. Yes, I did move. I have a lot of really exciting things to share about my move, about what I did with my other property, because I own my other condo as well for a number of years. We're going to talk about that in a future episode. I did move. It's a great location for everybody, for my kids. They have more space. We have a pool, really close to nature. It's really, really nice and relaxing here. I was kind of very sad at first. I was leaving my Carrie Bradshaw downtown Ottawa home and my condo, and I was sad about that, but I feel there's chapters to life. You know what I mean? I had 8 years and my boys went from being babies living in there to now they're 3/4 of my size. We needed more space, They can ride their bikes. We can go outside anytime. It's so much easier. Okay, so our last question for today is from Bindia, and I think this is one of my former students at Algonquin College. So she said, did you ever let your personal problems cloud your judgment or performance? Caroline, what do you think?
I don't think you have. I think you've pushed through. I think you've dealt with a lot over the years I've known you, and you've always showed up and you've always killed it. And I don't think it's been easy, but I don't think it's cloudy.
Thank you. Yeah. So Caroline has literally been by my side for the last 10 years. As I'm working on shows and stuff, she's been there when I've gotten phone calls and knows about stuff happening in my life. And I appreciate you saying that because It definitely isn't easy. I've had to push through. There's been times where I've been really stressed out or I've had panic attacks before filming an episode or before going to do something. And sometimes you just have to like literally shower while you're having the panic attack, make your tea and get in the car or call the Uber while you're having the panic attack. And then, work on like breathing techniques to kind of like regulate yourself. But I would never, like the second I got to set or in front of camera, lights on, it would all go away. And anything, there's been some times where like I've like been sick. And then the second the camera and the lights are on, I remember I was filming with you, Caroline, once, it was like my illness went away. Rise from the dead. So yeah, there's definitely, I've had problems, but I really try to compartmentalize as best as I can. And I never want to crack under pressure. And I'm really proud of myself to say that in the 10 years, despite everything I've been through, never once have I cracked on live television, production, events. I always handle it. Maybe I go home and have a breakdown after, but that's between me and my phone.
Your viewers would never have any idea.
They wouldn't, but I love these questions because like I want to answer that. Like that's like I feel like as a professional, I have to deliver, I have to do my job. Like we all have personal problems, you know what I mean? But I don't mind answering these questions. And then Bintia also has another part. What's it like to be a female in the industry? I think it's great. I work with a lot of females. Caroline and I have worked together. We have like a very similar like aesthetic for videography and film that I think works. How do you feel? What's it like to be a female in this industry? It is great, right?
It's fun. There's more and more female crews and females on set these days. I find every year there's more women around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's been super fun.
And remember like when we went to Miami, we had our female crew. We found that team member who was another female, and it was our all female crew down in Miami. And yeah, like I think like probably for crew, there's less like female crew members like behind the camera. I don't know about in front of the camera. I would say that it's probably 50-50, you know what I mean? But I think it's an advantage, and I kind of gravitate towards the people that have the same sensibility as me, and I've never really seen that as a barrier. So
yeah, I don't think about it too much.
it's more fun. Yeah. I got hair, I got makeup, I got lights, like I got my tiara. Caroline bought this for me. I love it. Like it's great. I love being a woman. Okay, so I want to hear from you. If there's anything you want to ask me for future episodes, if you want to hear your question answered on the pod, head to my Instagram and TikTok pages at Katrina.Turnbull. Drop me a DM, comment on my videos. Don't be shy. Your questions are honestly one of my favorite parts. Okay, we're now going to go on to the rapid fire questions. So, Caroline, do you remember how we used to do this on our TV show? Remember Capital Style Files?
Yeah. Oh, that was a while ago.
I know. Bringing it back to the rapid fire questions. So Caroline is going to ask the questions and then I'm going to answer.
Ready?
Yes.
Big wedding or elope and ghost?
We're going to go for a hybrid, a small elopement with select friends and family.
Diamond ring or something weird?
I have a unique black diamond engagement ring with a couple other diamonds in there and a gold band. And I haven't seen anyone else with a black diamond ring and I love it.
Champagne tower or tequila shots?
Everyone's probably not going to be shocked by this answer. Champagne tower, obviously.
I'll go with the tequila shots.
There you go. I'll have some for you.
Wearing heels or barefoot by the bar?
I want kind of like a barefoot beach vibe. I could get down for that. I don't think I can wear heels post-COVID, so.
Okay. Kids allowed or no tiny human?
Kids are allowed because obviously I have my own kids who are attending the wedding. I have friends who are my age where we've been pregnant together. Our kids have grown up together. There's, and I have nieces as well. So yeah, not every single kid has to come, but I think it's a small wedding and I definitely would want my friends to bring their kids if that's what they want. Yeah.
Plus ones for all, or do they have to earn it?
Okay, here's how I feel about that. If you have an established partner, you don't have to be married to them. Like there's something about like no ring, no invite or something. But if you're dating someone for 3 months and you want to bring them to a destination wedding, I just think there has to be a conversation. So that is a wrap on our first episode of The Long Game with Katrina Turnbull. I hope you enjoyed my life updates and got some key takeaways on second marriage wedding ideas. I would love to know if you've had a second marriage or wedding planning. Share the details with me through TikTok and Instagram, and I'd love to share your stories on the pod. Thank you for hanging out with me today, wherever you're listening, whether you're tuning in from Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, or just lurking in my Instagram comments. I see you, I feel you, and I'm so glad you're here spending part of your day with me, so thank you. If you've loved this episode, do all the good things, like, subscribe, follow, leave a review, comment, and share it in the group chat, wherever you can to spread the love. It means the world and helps this pod growing. You are not going to want to miss next week's episode. We are going to dive into exactly how I broke into the television industry and how I made a name for myself in showbiz. No agents, no shortcuts, just pure hustle and the right timing. Until then, take care of yourselves, be proud of where you're at, and remember, we're all playing the long game. If you listened all the way through, send me a DM with the word Island Bride so I know you're a real one.